Fear is a liar, but a convincing one. It tells you to wait, to play small, to protect what's safe instead of pursuing what's meaningful. You don't overcome fear by ignoring it. You overcome it by understanding it and mastering your response. The Stoics lived in brutal times, exile, war, plague, yet they built minds so calm that even death didn't terrify them. They didn't have motivational quotes. They had daily practice. Welcome to Stoic Principles, where ancient wisdom meets modern courage. Here are 7 Stoic practices to eliminate fear and live with quiet confidence. 1. Name the fear, drag it into light. Seneca said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Fear multiplies in darkness. The moment you name it, it loses power. When anxiety hits, write it down. What exactly are you afraid of? Failure? Rejection? Loss? Judgment? Now ask, what's the worst that can actually happen, and could I handle it? Most fears shrink under examination. They thrive only when they remain vague. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. Clarity kills fear. 2. Practice voluntary discomfort. Fear feeds on avoidance. The Stoic antidote is exposure. Seneca fasted. Musonius slept on hard floors. Marcus faced harsh winters without complaint. Why? To prove they could. Each voluntary act of discomfort is a message to fear, you don't own me. Start small. Cold shower. Tough workout. Public speaking. Saying no when you usually say yes. Every time you choose discomfort, fear loses its negotiation power. You stop asking, what if I can't handle it? Because you've proven you can. 3. Premeditate the worst and disarm it. The Stoics practiced premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. They visualized everything that could go wrong, not to panic, but to prepare. Epictetus said, "He robs present ills of their power who has perceived their coming beforehand." If you fear failure, imagine it fully, the loss, the embarrassment, the restart. Then plan your response. Fear hates plans. By rehearsing disaster, you train your mind to stay calm when reality falls short of your imagination, which it almost always does. 4. Focus on virtue, not outcome. Most fear comes from attachment to results, success, approval, reputation. But Stoicism teaches, control ends where virtue ends. You can control your effort, not the applause. Your integrity, not the outcome. Epictetus said, "Make the best use of what is in your power, and take the rest as it happens." When you anchor your peace to virtue, to doing what's right, not what's popular, fear fades. You stop chasing security and start practicing strength. Because no one can take your virtue from you, and that makes you fearless. 5. Use the view from above. When fear grips you, it zooms in, tunnel vision, sweaty palms, racing thoughts. The Stoics zoomed out. They practiced the view from above, visualizing Earth from the stars. From that height, your problems, the meeting, the bill, the judgment, shrink to dots. Marcus used this to dissolve anxiety. Consider how small your life is in all eternity. It's not meant to belittle your life, it's meant to free it. When you see yourself as part of something vast and ancient, fear of small things evaporates. Perspective is the antidote to panic. 6. Act despite emotion, the courage repetition. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's motion through fear. The Stoics didn't wait to feel brave. They acted anyway. Seneca wrote, "Sometimes even to live is an act of courage." When fear whispers, "Not yet," reply, "Now." Take one small, deliberate action toward what you fear. Send the email. Make the call. Begin the project. Each repetition rewires your brain. You teach it that fear is not a command, just a suggestion. And soon, fear becomes background noise, not the driver's seat. 7. Remember memento mori, fear's final cure. Every fear traces back to one root, the fear of loss. And behind that, the fear of death. The Stoics faced that truth directly. Memento mori, remember you must die. Marcus reminded himself daily, you could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. Why does this kill fear? Because once you accept death, everything else becomes manageable. If life itself is temporary, then embarrassment, rejection, failure, all of it, is trivial. Remembering mortality doesn't make you dark. It makes you unstoppable. Bringing it together. Let's recap the 7 Stoic practices that eliminate fear. 1. Name it. Fear thrives in vagueness. 2. Face it. Choose discomfort daily. 3. Premeditate it. Imagine the worst, plan your best. 4. Anchor in virtue. Control your effort, not results. 5. Zoom out. Gain perspective from the cosmic view. 6. Act anyway. Courage grows through repetition. 7. Remember death. Nothing to lose, everything to live for. These are not quick hacks, they're disciplines. But practiced daily, they forge calm that no fear can touch. Modern Stoic routine for fearless living. Try this weekly structure. Morning, name one fear and one small action against it. Daytime, do one voluntary discomfort challenge. Evening, journal, what did I fear today, and how did I respond? Weekly, visualize your biggest fear and rehearse your calm response. Always, remember, you're mortal, and therefore, free. This is how fear loses its grip, not overnight, but through repetition. You don't wait for courage. You build it. Fear will always knock. The Stoic just stops answering the door. Each time you act with reason instead of panic, you take back territory from fear. As Epictetus said, no man is free who is not master of himself. And that's the goal, not a life without fear, but a mind that moves through it untouched. This is Stoic Principles, where ancient wisdom becomes modern strength. If this helped you breathe easier in the face of fear, like, share, and subscribe, because freedom doesn't come from safety. It comes from courage, practiced daily.